Every single day, limited partners sit with a nagging ache inside, a feeling like something's just off, but no one talks about it. The frustration of chasing returns while feeling like maybe, just maybe, the founders have some secret playbook they're never sharing. That quiet suspicion that what you see on paper is only a part of the story, and behind closed doors, decisions are being made that leave you out in the dark. It's draining. It's lonely. And it's maddening because you know the stakes aren't just numbers. They are legacies, futures, and sometimes even livelihoods. You're told to trust the process, to wait patiently while everything unfolds. But deep down, patience feels more like a cage, limiting your power rather than expanding it. How many times have you looked over a pitch deck or heard a founder's grand vision and felt that gut-wrenching disconnect? What if that vision was a mask? What if underneath, the real game isn't about building the future, but protecting turf, digging in, and keeping you on the sidelines? That thought alone can make blood run cold. You're not just investing capital, you're investing time, trust, your identity as someone who knows how to spot winners. And here's the brutal truth most won't say. Sometimes the system isn't designed to serve you. It's designed to serve itself. Founders know it better than anyone. They've learned to play the game, to talk the right language, to present what looks like breakthroughs while hiding the cracks underneath. They speak about disruption, innovation, impact, but behind the scenes, many are simply polishing their scripts to keep you interested, keep the money flowing, keep the illusion alive. Your mind races. How do you break through this? How do you become more than just a silent observer, more than a glorified bank account? The answer isn't in more spreadsheets or endless meetings. It's in flipping the whole approach upside down. Start seeing founders not just as people pitching ideas, but as mirrors reflecting the reality of deeper human dynamics: fear, ego, desperation, hope. Once you acknowledge that, you can read between the lines. You learn to listen not just to what's being said, but to what's left unsaid. The hesitation, the quick pivot on a tough question, the stories that suddenly get repetitive. But reading between the lines is just the start. The real power lies in becoming the first to ask the questions nobody else dares to ask. Questions that cut through the noise and test the very foundations of a founder's vision. Is this truly their obsession? Are they committed to the messy path as much as the shiny destination? Or is this just another nice to have on a pitch deck? Don't settle for rehearsed answers. Push until you see the raw edges, because that's where truth lives. That's where you find the difference between a fad and a forever investment. It's also crucial to rethink what partnership means. Being a limited partner doesn't mean silently signing off and hoping for the best. It means becoming an active force, an equal player in the journey. Maybe that looks like challenging boardroom dynamics, demanding better transparency, or insisting on more than just quarterly updates perceived as mere formalities. And here's a secret: you don't have to fight alone. Find your tribe. Connect with other limited partners who feel this itch, who are tired of surface-level conversations and are hungry for real dialogue. Together, you create a collective intelligence that founders simply can't ignore. Together, you can shift power dynamics, set new standards, and build ecosystems that actually reward authenticity and relentless commitment rather than polished facades. Now, imagine wielding your influence not just as a financial backer, but as a catalyst for genuine transformation. What if you could spot the founders who are burning with true purpose, the ones ready to break every rule because they know what's at stake? What if your involvement became the oxygen that fuels their fire rather than just a transaction on a balance sheet? When you act like that, you don't just get returns. You become part of a movement that shatters limitations. This is why focusing on mindset is everything, not just yours, but the founders too. Encourage brutal honesty from the start. Demand clarity and be ready to call out inconsistencies. It's uncomfortable, yes, but growth always is. push founders to unlearn their rehearsed pitches, to embrace uncertainty, and to show their raw, unfiltered ambitions and flaws. That vulnerability is more valuable than polished presentations because it reveals the real resilience and adaptability that no spreadsheet can. Also, pay attention to the quiet signals, the culture the startup breathes. Look at how they handle setbacks, the way they talk about their team, their willingness to pivot or double down. These are the fingerprints of leadership that money can't buy. When you see a founder truly invested in transformation, not just growth, you know you're holding something rare. Here's another layer. Question your own rules. Are you holding on to fantasies about growth, returns, or control that blind you to the actual potential right in front of you? It's tempting to stick to numbers and metrics, but transformation defies neat categories. Sometimes the bets you don't want to make, the uncomfortable ones, are the ones that change everything. So stop waiting for permission. Shake the system by demanding what really matters: brutal transparency, real partnership, and the courage to rewrite the rules. When you lead with this energy, founders respond. The conversations shift from scripted sales pitches to grounded, raw, human connection. And when that happens, you don't just invest, you ignite. This path isn't easy, it's messy, it's risky. But the truth is, nothing worth building ever was simple or safe. Comfort is the enemy here. Settling for the easy road only leads to more illusions and heartbreak. Break free from the illusion that you're powerless. This is your moment to own your role as the liberator of what's possible. You see, founders can hide their fear, their insecurity, their hidden agendas, but you can't afford to be blind. You've got to cultivate a kind of ruthless love. Push hard because you care, probe deeply because you want the real story, stand firm because the future depends on it. This isn't about bullying. It's about partnership in its rawest, most authentic form. And when you do this, you'll see something miraculous unfold. The founders who wanted to play a game suddenly realize they need to level up or step aside. The ones burning with true fire start blazing trails that no one thought possible. And your role shifts from a backseat investor to a lodestar, quiet, powerful, transformative. This secret, the one limited partners rarely talk about, isn't hidden because it's complex. It's hidden because it's uncomfortable. It requires abandoning old assurances and embracing uncertainty with open eyes. But the rewards? They aren't just financial. They are about being part of something bigger than quarterly returns and portfolio snapshots. They're about helping birth a future forged by the few with the courage to burn, not bend. So the question to ask yourself is simple. Are you ready to stop playing the silent game? To lean in with instinct, insight, and impeccable courage? To see founders not as pitches, but as people, and to demand action, integrity, and transformation in return? Because once you do that, you'll never look at investing the same way again. You'll start catching whispers of truth where before there were only echoes. You'll find patterns that others miss. You'll connect dots invisible to the untrained eye. And you'll build a legacy that no one else can touch. This isn't about luck. It's not about following the crowd. It's about becoming the rare one. The questioner, the challenger, the force that flips the script. That's the real secret. And now that you know this, the path forward is clear. Own it. Amplify it. Live it. Because the world doesn't need more silent investors. It needs the awakened few who refuse to sleep.